This video and all other videos on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. The content of this video and all other videos on this channel are the opinions of the creator only and do not constitute legal, trading, investment, or financial advice of any kind. Investing carries a high level of risk and the majority of retail clients lose money. Do not invest any capital unless you understand the risks and you are prepared to lose it all. Alright, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel and welcome to the week. Welcome to Monday. We are kicking this week off with a little bit of a Bitcoin dump, aren't we? 2.33%. I'm sure this will be upsetting the tape slaves amongst us. We just saw Bitcoin pull the biggest long liquidation so far this year. 24-hour long licks exceeding $1.62 billion. Total licks in the past 24 hours exceeding $1.7 billion. So lots of those latecomers piling in to the long side, just taken out. And of course, crypto Twitter is scrambling to figure out whether these charts are about to Dalai Lama or Osama bin Laden. If you don't understand the reference, okay, the former would be this old Bitcoin meme, the Dalai Lama chart pattern. I'll play you this quick GIF right now, where essentially Bitcoin stages a mu pattern, right? The Greek letter mu. And if I was to get my red pen, essentially, we've already done a bit of it, right? We've puked, we've done this bit, and now all that's left is to recover. So this would be the classic Dalai Lama pattern here if we were to do that. The other one I've not really heard of before. I think El Prez is the first person to coin this term, but I'm sure we can all use our imaginations to figure out what this would point to. So good morning, right? Welcome to the week. Welcome to Monday. I actually think there's a good chance we Dalai Lama out of here. Now, I'll show you the charts at the end as always. To be honest, if you've been following the channel, if you've watched even the last 1 to 2 videos, you should probably already know that we are running with 2 possible scenarios, 2 possible counts. But as a recap, we'll revisit those counts momentarily when we get to the end of this. I first wanted to point out that apparently there is some massive political news coming for Bitcoin Tuesday that will reshape the trajectory of Bitcoin politics. So it's probably that some people have been lobbying here and we're going to get some sort of announcement on Tuesday. If so, that would probably give rise to the Dalai Lama coming into effect, wouldn't it? Now, lots of people are kind of skeptical of this, and ordinarily I would be too, right? Ordinarily I would point at this and be making jokes and saying like, well, it's probably already baked into the cake because the insiders already know about it and therefore it's already in the price, okay? Often things like this, they sound hyperbolic and they sound kind of exciting, and then when the news comes out, no one really cares, or at least the market doesn't move. And again, most of the time that's because this type of news is baked into the cake, right? The insiders know because they're the ones doing the lobbying, they're the ones making these types of policies, and therefore the price doesn't really need to respond much to these kind of announcements. I did want to make 2 points here which I think are important, okay? Based on Dennis Porter's track record at the Satoshi Action Fund, passing 9 Bitcoin bills and advancing policies like the Clarity Act, we should indeed trust that this will be a solid announcement. So it seems quite likely to me at least that this is not just engagement farming, but there really will be something significant released on Tuesday. Now again, ordinarily, I would say the market probably knows it's already baked into the cake. Who really cares, right? It'll probably end up being a nothing burger in terms of moving the price. But this time around, I think we can say that this will likely move the market. And the reason I say that is we are late stages in the cycle, okay? When we have used up the majority of the bull phase of the 4-year cycle, like we have so far, currently sat in month 34, when next month will be month 35, and historically it is 35 months to the top. Because we are late stage cycle, it's entirely possible that any kind of announcement like this, the market will cling on to and use as an explanation to explain away the upside price action. So again, ordinarily, I would say it's probably a nothing burger, I don't care, and we'll use the same approach as always, which is we'll see what the market does first and then we'll make a judgment. But this time around, because we are in that late stage of the cycle, this is the kind of announcement that I wouldn't be surprised if what we get is a couple of very big green candles to complete this bull phase of the 4-year cycle into the next couple of months. So eyes on the prize for Tuesday. Of course, there's an obvious invalidation, right? If on Tuesday they release some sort of Bitcoin strategic reserve bill and the price does nothing, then we just say, okay, Camel was wrong about this. But as I said, we have to be aware of where we are in the cycle. We are late stage, and therefore it seems reasonable to me that so long as there's some substance to this announcement, that should probably be a catalyst to move us higher. I've got a couple more slides I want to show you just before we head into some charts and look at the cycle count. This chart has been doing the rounds, and it's pretty funny because they've been copy and pasting this from all sorts of places, okay? But they've been so quick to copy and paste, they're unable to spot there's an error in the thing they're copy and pasting, right? It says 2008 was the second time at the touch of this upper channel This is actually 2000, right? The dot-com bubble burst. This here is 2008, the GFC. Also, to be scared of a chart is kind of weird, right? That's pretty weird. But I kind of think we are missing the point here to some degree, okay? If we use my version of this chart, again, 2000, not 2008, what do we know, okay? Typically, what we will do is throw over the top of this channel, okay? That means fake breakout to the upside before correcting back to either the median or the lower bound. And that makes a lot of sense that we'll get this fake liquidity trap to the upside first, then roll over into those 4-year cycle lows. For me, the real question is how low down do we come? Because this median line is 62% down and the base of the channel is 86% down. Now, as ever, it's not a call or a prediction. I'm not telling anybody here that we are going down 86% to the bottom of this channel. This is merely a technical target, but something I'm extremely confident about is this is probably going to break out at the top of the channel for a short period of time and then violently snap back and come back inside of the channel to complete that fake breakout or throw over. Okay, so look out for that. Pretty sure this call is going to be validated in the next couple of months. And by that, I simply mean that we will break out at the top of here, only to reverse violently back inside of the channel. And that will, of course, be a top signal as well. Okay, it's highly unlikely that we will overthrow it, come back inside of the channel, and then break out to the upside again. So keep an eye on this setup. And more importantly, ignore the people that just keep copy and pasting misinformation. Okay, they're so quick to engagement farm that they don't even check the dates of the things they're copy and pasting. I wonder if we should start setting traps almost, okay, and start creating charts with deliberate misinformation in them just to see how many people copy and paste them. And fitting in with this theme of being kind of late stage, right, and looking for a throw over that reverses back inside of the channel. Notice how everyone keeps telling people that everyone is calling for a recession, right, when in fact that may be true of retail, that may be true in an echo chamber on crypto Twitter, but the reality is this is factually incorrect. Okay, this here is the Bank of America fund manager survey, and to say that a hard landing is coming is highly contrarian. Okay, you can see that just 13% of the street have hard landing as their base case. And I would suggest to you that number will probably diminish as we start to overthrow the top of this channel. So again, with all of that said, let's hop into some charts and see what the cycles are telling us, okay? Again, nothing has really changed. So if you know, you know, and if not, let's have a quick recap. Okay, we are expecting a bit of a decline into a daily and a weekly cycle for the stocks, so a few days of decline not going to be a surprise to the Camel Crew. Gold, we continue to push, continue to be long and strong, and it continues to reward us for pushing. Again, not much more to say about that. Silver also breaking out towards that $50 plus target. Happy days, positioned via miners and everything else. You know the score, right? So again, no changes there. And for Bitcoin, we have been operating with the idea that there are two possible counts, and we just needed to allow enough time for the market to show us which one it is. Once the market has revealed which count is correct, we can accept that as the truth and move forward, position around that, carry on as business as usual. And those two counts were, number one, this is the low, this count is correct, and we are going to move up, roughly speaking, in accordance with my yellow squiggle. Okay, if so, then the current low is here, and we are currently on something like day 21. Okay, so it could well be that we're heading for a half cycle low and then we're going to continue higher. That's assuming we don't invalidate this count by trading below it. If we do, then we simply shift this to here. Bob Lucas's count is correct. We look for a daily and a weekly cycle low early October, something like this. Okay, we back that, and then this whole yellow squiggle plays out from here. Okay, so this is what we're looking for then, and this becomes the count, this becomes the one we have to accept as the truth if this low here is violated. If we trade below that low, then it's certainly this count, and that's actually good. We can tuck the weekly cycle behind us and head up for a good 2 to 3 months of left translated weekly cycle into the ultimate high. If this low is not violated, okay, and it continues to hold and we continue to push up, then the current count we've got, which is this, is correct. We will look for a continued push, a daily cycle low, inversion, weekly cycle low, and then we'll be quite late. So we may or may not get this push. And that's exactly what we've been saying for about the past 2 or 3 weeks, right? We just have to allow enough time for one of these counts to be proven as the truth and the other one to be invalidated. And then we can just move forward. As is often the case on this channel, we're positioned for both possible outcomes, right? We're already in position, we're already long and strong, we've already got plenty of crypto exposure in the level 3 members section. So if it's going to rip higher from here, happy days, okay? And in the worst case scenario, we pay a stop here on this Bitcoin trade, we load up out of the October cycle low, which remember would also sync up with this one right here for the S&P 500 and the stock market in general. And then we would look for a good few months, well, let's say anywhere between 2 and 3 months of upside into the end of the year. And I would expect to be almost entirely cash before Christmas so that I can go and enjoy my Christmas holiday and then come back to financial Armageddon in January. Half joking. So that's it from me. Welcome to the week. Welcome to Monday. The JISA series is officially coming out on Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday morning's video will be a JISA series. It will be video 1 in the JISA playlist. I'm going to create the playlist and we'll add that first video there. So you can follow along. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see that. And other than that, trade safe out there. Let's see if we can get some Dalai Lamas. Keep an eye on that Bitcoin announcement tomorrow. And let's most importantly see if that ignites some big 10K plus green candles in that late stage cycle. Take care from me. Have a fantastic week. All the best. Cheers. Bye.
Camel finance, he's the man to see. Rocking the markets with his contrarian spree. Trades like a pro, no fear, no shame. Sticking to his guns in his money game. He's a badass, oh yes indeed. Camel